I always recommend using free and open source software whenever possible, as it's the best way to ensure that you can have privacy and security on your computer. But these days, most people have far more of their private information on their smartphones. And that can be a real problem when you have closed source apps that are gaining access to things on your phone that they probably shouldn't be. Some of the permissions and access requests that even basic pre-installed apps like a calculator make seem totally insane to me. You don't have to be an expert in cybersecurity to see why having these closed source apps on your phone that are asking for way too much access is a bit spooky. But luckily, anybody who's using Android doesn't actually have to use these apps. There is a basic suite of tools that are available in the F-Droid store for camera, SMS, gallery, alarms, and much more. These apps are all part of the Simple Mobile Tool Suite. And just like the name implies, they handle the functions of many of the pre-installed apps that you might be using from Samsung, Google, or whoever your phone's manufacturer is. And like I said, these are all available via F-Droid as well, which is really how you should be downloading them if you care about your privacy on Android. I don't know why they don't mention that they're available in F-Droid on the Simple Mobile Tools website. They just have downloads for it from the website or from Google Play Store, which you could do if you want, but I think F-Droid is generally much more convenient and obviously better than using the Google Play Store. All of these apps are also available on GitHub if you want to take a look at the source code or build it yourself. Now, I have pretty much all of these applications installed on my Android phone here, and I actually do use most of them. So let's go through them real quick, and I'll just give you my thoughts. So first we have the Contacts app. Now on this phone, I don't actually have my SIM card in it right now, so you're not going to see any of my contacts. I wouldn't want to show my contacts anyway, but you can still get the picture of how it works. So in your contacts, you can add in contacts, obviously. You can put in their name, you can put in a phone number for them, you can add a picture, you can put them into groups, or add notes about the contact. Then we have a file manager, and this pretty much works like any other file manager would. You can just go into different folders and explore the different files that are on your phone, and you can also open up things like pictures or videos in your gallery. Of course, if you have root access on your phone, then you can also access any of the root folders of your device using this file manager. Gallery, we already pretty much took a look at, but yeah, you get the idea. It's a gallery. Flashlight. So this is a pretty standard flashlight app. I think most of the flashlight apps that you would see on the Google Play Store have these functions as well, but it is multifunction. So first you have the just standard flashlight, which is going to have a static, the rear camera LED light up, and then you can use your screen as a light, and you can change the color, so it's RGB there. Then there's SOS, which is going to flash SOS, I believe, in Morse code using the light on the back of the phone, the rear camera lights. And then there's also this pulsating light that pulses the rear camera light. And you can adjust how quickly it pulses using the slider. So when it's down, it does it very slowly, like every few seconds. And then when it's up, it flashes it many, many times a second, like a strobe light. Next, we have the music player. So again, fairly basic music player where you can create playlists. You can sort by artist, albums, or tracks, and then you can go ahead and play them. If we click on the three dots up here, we can also access our equalizer. So we can customize it, or we can pick from a number of pre-made ones. You can also access these settings, and you can purchase a simple thank you. This is in pretty much all of the Simple Tools applications so that you can donate money to the developer, because of course all of these apps are available to be downloaded for free. And you can also customize the widget colors. So again, it is RGB, and you can also edit the transparency of the background as well. Next, we have the Notes app. So again, just a basic note-taking app. Now, Honestly, I don't really like this note-taking app as much. Like I have some notes in here that I created, but the reason I don't really like it so much is because you have to scroll through the notes like this. You have to swipe right and left, at least as far as I can tell. I couldn't find any way to change that functionality, but I don't really like scrolling through the notes that way. I would much rather have them listed this way that they are in, I think Standard Notes is what this is called, which is just another free open source note-taking app that you can download from F-Droid. So yeah, but if you don't mind this way that the Simple Notes app works, then you can go ahead and use that as your note-taking app. Next, we have the camera. So again, it's just a very simple camera. I don't think that there's any filters or anything like that really in it. So it doesn't have a whole lot of crazy additional features that maybe an Instagram camera or something like that would have. You can set it to not save any of your phone's XF metadata, so that could be useful if you want to take pictures and then maybe share them on the internet, but you don't necessarily want people to gather some additional information, like maybe where you took that photo. So of course, you've got the rear-facing camera, and then you've got the front-facing camera as well. And this is the OnePlus 7 Pro. I know some of you were asking whether or not like installing Lineage OS or removing the Google Suite, if this camera would still work, and it does. Pop-up camera works just fine. Next, we have a SMS Messenger. So again, you can send regular unencrypted text messages using this, but in all honesty, I would recommend using something that at least does give you the option of encrypting your communications, like Signal or Telegram. Next, we have a draw app. So yeah, it's a basic draw app. I've got this guy that, you know, I drew with a little smiley face, and let's give him some hair. You know, his head's kind of shaped like a potato, but he's feeling all right. You know, he's confident in himself. Next, we have the clock app, and this also functions as like an alarm and a stopwatch. So yeah, this works pretty good. The only thing, well, there's two things to note about this. One, they do tell you, which is that if you have anything that's going to make apps go to sleep, like certain battery settings or stuff like that, that your alarm might not go off. Pretty sure that's true for pretty much any alarm app. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you have some background process that's going to put your apps to sleep. But one thing about this that seems a little bit funky to me, let's see, yeah, we want to go into the timer. So if we set a timer for, let's say 4 minutes, and then start it, you can see on the home screen here that it just tells you the timer is 4 minutes and 6 seconds. It doesn't actually update and like count down on the home screen here. So yeah, I don't know if that's a bug or if there's some just misconfiguration that I have on my device causing that, but other countdown like timer apps that I've used don't do that. So this is the only real downside to using this clock app, but if you don't have that error on your device, then I guess you're fine. Then we have a calculator, and best thing about this calculator is it doesn't ask to make or manage any phone calls for you. So yeah, it's just a regular standard calculator. You can go into your settings and you can change things like the color. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of additional functionality to it. It's not a graphing calculator or anything like that. Calendar, again, so this is another app that doesn't make any additional spooky requests. You can just set up whatever events that you want to do on the calendar for the day. Voice recorder, again, same idea. You can just record your voice. Free and open source app that isn't going to be recording when you don't want it to. And then you can play things back. And then finally, there is the dialer, which of course lets you make regular phone calls unencrypted. Again, probably a better idea to use something like Signal that lets you make encrypted phone calls instead of this. But if one of your friends or family member doesn't have the app, then you can just use this to make a regular phone call, and at least you're using something that's free and open source to do it. So yeah, that covers the simple mobile tools. These are available from the F-Droid store on any Android device, so you can have consistent apps across multiple phones if you're somebody who uses multiple phones, or if you like to switch ROMs a whole lot. Definitely check it out. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and leave a like to hack the algorithm. Peace out.